is when allergy season kicks into gear, appropriately named Allergy and Asthma Awareness Month. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America reports that allergies are one of the most common chronic diseases. They're typified by the body producing an antibody called immunoglobulin E in response to a substance it deems harmful. These antibodies produce allergic reaction symptoms. Symptoms can range widely from a runny nose to fatality. The foundation estimates that 30% of adults and 40% of children in the U.S. currently suffer from allergies. While there are medications that can help, the best way to prevent an allergic reaction is to avoid the allergen. But many people don't know they have allergies. If this spring weather is making you feel ill, you may want to be tested. Ed Neuzil, board-certified nurse practitioner at the Allergy, Sinus, and Asthma Family Health Center, explained how they test their patients for allergies.
We have several forms of allergy testing here. I mean, the more common that everybody thinks of is that for the airborne allergens, and that's a simple prick test to determine any severe allergens, and then if appropriate we would do an intradermal test to look for any high-level responses. We also have food allergy testing, which can find and determine whether you have an allergy to different foods, and we usually test for the more common type foods. But what I also tell people, you may have sensitivities that are not what we call IgE mediated. So it's not an allergy, it's a hypersensitivity or an inability to process. If I test somebody and they're allergic to watermelon, they says, what's in watermelon I can be allergic to? And it's not the watermelon you're allergic to, it's the protein that's watermelon. And so that's what you actually have the IgE to. And all these foods are proteins, and that's where we're looking at where we make the IgE. And you can develop that to almost anything. But people that think that milk is an allergy can be, but doesn't necessarily have to be. You can have an intolerance to where you lack a certain enzyme to break down those parts in the milk. So we have not only the allergic, but an inability to process some of these foods. But it's always good to find out, is this truly an allergy? Because it's sometimes simple, but sometimes not, to say, okay, well, I'm just not going to eat that, especially if you've done it all your life. And one of the hard things is when I find Italian individuals that love their food and they're allergic to garlic. They will almost do anything to go ahead and continue eating garlic. And sometimes, you know, with the right avoidance and only doing a little bit and only occasional, they can tolerate it. But I have had other ones that can't even cook it for their family without severe symptoms. So when we look at food allergies, I mean, they could be mild, but they can be severe, and it doesn't take much. When we look at IgE, it is a blood test that we do, and what that measures is the total amount of IgE that you've produced. In a normal individual, there's a certain range that we look at, but for people with allergies, this can go into even the 1,000 range. Normal, depending upon your test, could be anywhere from 0 to 100, 0 to 118, in that area, depending upon what lab you go to. But if you have a normal of 0 to 100 and you come up with 289, that means that you have a much more increased chance of responding to an allergic trigger. In a chemical patch test, it's like 3 large Band-Aids that are placed on your back, and they're actually there for 3 days, and they look for any chemical responses. People that coming in using things like makeup or hair coloring or men with colognes. So when doing a chemical test and we're able to identify this, then we give them paperwork and sit down with them and try to find out again, where is this exposure? Where are you getting this from? And this is strictly an avoidance type of condition. So if we do find that you're allergic to a certain chemical, it's where am I being exposed and I have to get rid of it.
To get in touch with Ed Neuzil and the staff at the Allergy, Sinus, and Asthma Family Health Center, please visit our specialist directory. Just click the Allergy Testing tab on our homepage, yourhometownhealth.com.